Hello everyone. I know many of you have come to admire Rex Splode lately, rediscovering a deep respect and affection for his character. Yet beneath that bravado lies an origin steeped in sorrow, one of the most harrowing and tragic fates to befall any central figure in this saga. Trust me when I say, by the end of this journey, you may find it hard to feel anything but unease. So, what befell Rex along his path? The story opens with a young boy weaving through a bustling crowd, his small frame darting between strangers. Something's tucked away in his pocket, concealed with care, as he flees. Behind him, a salesman gives chase, shouting after the swift child. The boy dodges oncoming cars, his feet pounding the pavement, until he slips into an alley's shadows. Suddenly, a strange, bomb-like device lands before him and erupts in a deafening blast. There lies Rex, crumpled on the ground, battered and bruised, the stolen cans he'd clutched now scattered beside him. A man looms overhead, his voice stern as he declares, "Young man, you ought to realize there's no outrunning justice's reach." Rex struggles to his feet, defiance flickering through his pain, and mutters, "Fine, I'll go. Just make it quick, and spare me any more of those weird space gadgets." But the man's expression shifts, a chilling glint in his eyes, as he replies, "I'm not here to haul you off. I only have a question for you. Don't you understand that theft is wrong?" Rex snaps back, his voice sharp with desperation. "I know it's not as wrong as letting my mom starve." The stranger smirks faintly, remarking, "Quite the Aladdin tale, isn't it?" Rex, penniless and unfamiliar with the reference, too broke for a movie ticket, frowns and says, "I don't even know what that means. Is there something else you want from me?" The man presses on, undeterred, asking, "How do you suppose your parents would feel, knowing you're out here swiping supper?" Rex's face flushes with shame and fury as he retorts, "Who do you think sent me, you idiot?" The stranger chuckles, brushing off the outburst, and walks away, leaving Rex in the dust. The boy gathers his pilfered goods, cans clinking as he scoops them up, and hurries toward home. It's a dilapidated place, crumbling in a rough part of town, far from any semblance of safety or comfort. Inside, Rex sits with his mother and father on a sagging couch, the trio sharing a meager meal from those very cans. His father, voice heavy with disappointment, says, "Rex, my boy, I know it's easy to grab and light to carry, but couldn't you nab something warmer next time? It's Christmas, after all." Rex mumbles an apology, his small shoulders slumping. Not a hardened thief, but a child forced to provide where his parents falter. It's their burden to bear, not his. Then, a sharp knock rattles the door. His father glances over, puzzled, and calls out, "Dear, did you order a large black coffee?" Before an answer comes, the same man who confronted Rex steps in, cutting him off with a calm, "Good evening, Mr. Sloan." He enters, carrying a bag of provisions, and greets them again, "Mr. Sloan, young Rex, a pleasure to see you once more. Please take a seat, all of you. I'm Radcliffe, from the government, but before we discuss matters, I've brought you some supper." Rex's father, skeptical and brash, mutters, "What a jerk," until he peels open the rations and spots steak. His eyes light up, joy overtaking his gruff demeanor. Rex, seizing the moment, tells them, in the spirit of the season, "I've secured something more." Radcliffe opens a suitcase brimming with cash, declaring, "I'm prepared to offer you a sum generous enough to buy steak for lifetimes over." Mr. Sloan, stunned, echoes, "Lifetimes?" Radcliffe leans in, his tone smooth yet pointed. "Mr. Sloan, I understand this isn't the existence you envisioned, not the legacy you meant for your family. I can grant you all you've ever longed for, freedom from this squalor, a fresh start as if this hardship never was, a life surpassing your boldest dreams." Rex's father, wary, counters, "No one gets a windfall for free. What do I have to give you? I've got nothing." Radcliffe's gaze shifts, landing on Rex with intent, as he replies, "I assure you, Mr. Sloan, there is something of value here." Rex freezes, a sickened, fearful expression creeping across his face. What does this man intend for him? His father, grasping the implication, asks the boy, "Is that it?" Radcliffe nods, and Mr. Sloan seals it with a curt, "You've got a deal." And so, in a gut-wrenching betrayal, Rex's father trades him away for a stack of bills and some meat, a moment that cuts deep when you dwell on it. Your own parent, bartering you off for scraps. The tale pivots now to a sterile, high-tech facility. Radcliffe strides alongside young Rex, who glances up and asks, "So, is this where you live? Or just where you work?" Radcliffe, faintly amused by the boy's curiosity, responds, "This is where I labor and reside, and more crucially, where you'll do the same from now on." He swings open a door to a vast room, stocked with wonders a child could only dream of. Rex's eyes widen as he gasps, "This is all for me?" Radcliffe affirms, "Yes." Rex, still probing, points to robotic figures in the space and asks, "Those robot things, do they work for you? You're with the government, right?" Radcliffe nods, adding, "Indeed, and if they don't, your parents won't be pleased." I bent the truth to them. Rex shrugs, voice flat, "Probably not. They don't care anyway. They sold me off to some guy like it was nothing. A grueling montage unfolds. Radcliffe oversees Rex's training, his voice steady as he instructs. I must prepare you thoroughly before you can serve this nation. You can't defend America overnight, or even in a short span. It's been a hard road, I know. There have been fleeting joys, but it's called work for a purpose. I've done all I can to forge you into something resilient, something formidable. Yet certain trials you must face alone, and I'm certain you will, because I see a spark in you, a fierce drive, a boldness, call it what you will. That's why I'm confident that when you emerge from the operating chamber, you'll be stronger, not merely tougher than before, but surpassing any other I could have chosen. Farewell, my boy, and good fortune. A tender scene follows. Radcliffe clasps Rex's hand as the boy weeps on the operating table, fear etching his young face. Then the procedure begins, Rex under the knife, his veins and tissues altered, enhanced. The surgeon, voice calm, reports, I could say it's going well, Director Radcliffe, but that would undersell the triumph of it. Radcliffe, observing keenly, murmurs, splendid, truly splendid. Rex awakens, restored and transformed. The surgeon instructs, flex a bit. You'll sense the charge flow instinctively. It only affects inorganic matter, you'll find. Now, imagine the operator's voice, steady and clinical, as he explains to Rex. The objects you cannot harm are living things, animals, plants, people. Your charge has no effect on them. Instead, it infuses inorganic matter with a volatile energy, rendering it dangerously unstable. Yet that's merely potential, lying dormant. It requires a spark, a slight jolt, a drop, a nudge, to unleash that stored power into devastating blasts. He's laying out the mechanics of Rex's abilities, how they function in this strange, altered body of his. The operator continues. Those injections we've administered have done more than sharpen your strength and reflexes. They've fortified your skin and muscle fibers to an extraordinary degree, granting you resilience against the very explosions you wield. That's a heavy load of knowledge for a young mind to bear. Picture Rex, still a boy, taking it in. Then, almost absently, he flicks his fingers at the operator's head. It bursts apart in a sudden, violent spray, a grim test of his newfound power. He mutters, almost to himself, yes, I believe I understand it now. Radcliffe strides in, his presence commanding, and asks, is all well here? Has he been fully briefed? Rex cuts through the formality, voice edged with impatience. Enough words. When do I get to put this junk to use? Radcliffe chuckles, a rare lightness in him, and replies, I suspect you'll have your chance for a trial run soon enough. Soon, we see Rex, not yet in his iconic garb, but clad in something makeshift, racing through a guarded compound, a briefcase clutched tight. He hurls charged objects at the sentries, explosions ripping through the air, scattering them. Radcliffe watches, his satisfaction evident, and praises, that's why. Rex, my boy, you've outdone yourself. Truly remarkable work. I've already lined up your next task. He hands over a set of covert papers, including a forged passport, and declares, here are your undercover credentials. Rex takes it, then freezes. His name reads, Rex Radcliffe. Shock flickers across his face as Radcliffe explains, a touch of pride in his tone, a calculated move on my part. I trust you'll overlook it. Rex hesitates, his voice softer, questioning, Mr. Radcliffe, we're on the right side, aren't we? We're the ones doing good, yes? Radcliffe's response is swift, assured, of course we are. Why would you even doubt it? Yet Rex's expression clouds with a quiet sorrow as he murmurs, I don't know. Stealing, hurting people, taking lives. How can that sit right? Radcliffe leans closer, his tone firm but coaxing. Recall our first meeting. Rex, that initial conversation. You were anguished, insisting your theft paled beside your family's hunger. The world's no different, it's famished, my boy. And these people we target? They're mere scraps, fleeting sustenance. Later that night, Rex slips into a private residence, leaving behind a small box. An older man, weary and puzzled, lifts the lid and mutters, I didn't know deliveries came this late. Inside glows a baseball, a curious trinket. He tosses it aside, grumbling, what use is a glowing ball? I don't even care for the game. Moments later, his home erupts in a thunderous blast, Rex's laughter echoing faintly as the scene shifts. Time passes, and a bond is deepened between Rex and Radcliffe. Rex begins to see a surrogate father in this man, a stark contrast to the one who traded him away. Radcliffe, voice warm with pride, says, you've excelled in these missions, Rex. I wanted to offer you something meaningful. Rex tilts his head, curious, meaningful? You've never done that before. Radcliffe unveils a sleek scooter, declaring, it's not solely for work. Happy birthday, my boy. Rex's face lights up, a rare joy breaking through as he exclaims, this is incredible. My real dad never even remembered my birthday. Radcliffe's tone hardened slightly. Your father was a man who bartered his child for a meal, Rex. Believe me, you're exactly where you're meant to be. Yet a shadow crosses Rex's gaze, the sting of that betrayal resurfacing. The narrative turns, an airplane touches down in Japan. An air hostess. Her tone playful, remarks, Mr. Radcliffe. Quite the sports enthusiast, aren't you? That bag's brimming with baseballs. Rex grins faintly, matching her jest. Oh, absolutely. I'm a Hanshin Tigers man. She warns with a laugh. Tread carefully. Some powerful folks here back the Yomiuri Giants. He nods. I'll remember that. Soon after, he's on a mission, contracted by Radcliffe to dismantle a network of foes. Buildings blaze as he unleashes his charges, reducing structures to rubble, emerging with blood and grime marking his hands, a testament to the havoc he's wrought. He scales a rope to escape, the chaos smoldering behind him. Radcliffe beams at this display, declaring, nothing will halt us now. Rex, though, wavers, his voice tinged with doubt. Are you certain of this? Radcliffe's reply is dry. I'm not one to jest about covert operations, Rex. The boy presses, yes, but the Pentagon. I thought that's where the government lives. Aren't we the government? Radcliffe's explanation carries a cold edge. Let me clarify, Rex. The Global Defense Agency I once led was aligned with this nation's authorities. I shaped it myself. But its current director, a protege I trained, has veered wildly off course, utterly unhinged. He must be stopped. Rex frowns. I trust you. But this brief, it's just an address, no name. How do I strike someone I can't identify? Radcliffe dismisses the concern. Don't fret over that, Rex. The director's the mark, but I want the entire facility erased. Rest now, my boy. Tomorrow's a monumental task. That night, Rex lies restless in bed, then rises, mounting his scooter. He rides toward the Pentagon, staring at its looming silhouette, muttering, the good guy's blowing up the Pentagon. What is this madness? Suddenly, a bank heist unfolds nearby. A figure stumbles out, kill cannon, battered, and Rex rushes over, asking, hey man, you holding up? Then another voice cuts in, playful yet sharp. Adam Eve emerges from the chaos, quipping, oh, planning to chuck a rock at me? Not the gentlemanly way to greet a lady, especially one as charming as me. And so, this chapter closes, Rex's path crossing with hers, a fleeting spark amid his storm. I hope this gripped you, because the chapters ahead grow even more intense. This tale lays bare Rex's struggles, how much he's endured, how much more he might yet face. His story may well be the most heart-wrenching thread in the Invincible tapestry. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're curious, check out why Omni-Man delayed his conquest of Earth, even before Mark entered the picture. Thank you for listening.